Hey everyone, I'm Grant Litteken with the City of O'Fallon. I'm here today with the O'Fallon Shiloh Chamber of Commerce, and we're getting back to business. It's a real honor because today I get to talk with Nathan Klitzing, who's the CEO and Principal Wealth Advisors with Cambridge Capital Management. Nathan, thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Grant. Happy to be here.
Yeah, so, uh, I know that I'm in government, you're in finance. It's been a challenging number of months for us, but I'm really interested in getting to know you a little bit more and getting to know about how we're getting back to business in O'Fallon. So, anything else? Let's go ahead and get down to business.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Nathan. So, what have you learned about yourself during this time?
Well, I mean, the first thing I've definitely learned about myself is how fast my hair grows. And it's crazy how fast it grows. My hairstylist, Andrea, I know is dying for me to come in June because I've had to reschedule twice, but that's the first thing. But I think the seriousness, the first thing that I've learned about myself is honestly how much I love being a dad. And I say that because no matter how hard the days are, how difficult they are, and there were some really difficult days in March and April, and they continue to be. When I hit my cul-de-sac and I roll into my driveway and my kids and the excitement if they're outside, that's just so much fun. So taking them on walks, playing catch, whatever it is, it's just given us an opportunity to kind of connect without the hustle and bustle of life. So that's been nice. I think also, as it relates to business, how much of a social animal I am. I mean, how much I took it for granted, just, meeting with clients and doing handshakes and hugs. We do a lot of handshakes and hugs with clients. Even the community, the little things like taking kids to school and, live mass at my church, even though Father Bill at St. Nicholas is doing a great job with the stream. But nothing's better than live. Even the O'Fallon Shiloh Rec Department. I mean, we were supposed to be in Mighty Ball baseball and softball, and I was supposed to coach, and you just miss all those things. But it's so wonderful to be in such a community. Those things exist, and you do take them for granted. And I think the last thing that I'd say about my team, and I wouldn't say that I learned it, I was reminded of it. The culture of Cambridge. I mean, just our team is just so solid. I mean, everyone has been so nimble, so respectful, so flexible and efficient. We're working all over the Metro East right now and some in Missouri as well. But the general's only as good as the soldiers, and I think we got the best ones. So those are some things I've learned.
That's great, Nathan. Yeah, I know what it's like to be proud of your family and proud of your employees and proud of your business. We've all had to adapt and learn work from home, essential workers, putting people in the front lines. It's definitely a new normal when you talk about everything. And learning to appreciate your family life is important. It helps to smile at the end of the day. And for those of us that are working from home, when your kids run in and distract you in the middle of a meeting, it's hard to get mad at them, isn't it?
It is. They're
Yeah.
so innocent.
So, what have you and your team been doing, and what are you going to do in the future with your business to kind of adapt to this new normal?
Yeah, so we're a little fortunate in a sense that, I mean, a lot of what we do can be migrated online or other areas, but we still have had to make a lot of changes. I mean, the one thing that I think is going to be here to stay is a flexible work environment with employees. We've been cloud-based since the start, so it wasn't a difficult transition for us, but yeah, I think that's going to continue. And I think one thing we have done and we will continue to do is just double down on our investment in technology, specifically as it relates to programs and processes that allow us to do our job with clients in front of clients. And many things administratively behind the scenes, we try to, with products, procedures, technology, try to be as efficient as possible. So I think that's how we'll continue to run our business differently.
Yeah, that's great. Everybody's been able to adapt to a different work style. You mentioned the greatest thing about meeting people and shaking hands, and I know that in the financial sector, having somebody to pick up the phone at the very least is important to a lot of people. I guess one thing I'd be curious is if you had a specific tip for some of our other businesses as they're getting back to business.
Yeah, I think the first thing that I would really be focused on, that I focus on every day, is the better the data you have on your business, the better decisions you can make in real time. So, I'm very analytical, and I understand that. But for a business owner out there, just knowing your profit and loss statement on an ongoing basis, know where you are on your balance sheet. If numbers aren't you, that's okay. Outsource that to places that it is, to where you can make real life decisions as quick as possible. I think that would be number one. This situation also, it stresses your procedures, how you serve your clients or customers, whatever capacity. So use this as an opportunity to learn. Okay, what could I do differently? Or where am I a little redundant in my process that I could be more efficient? And then I think the last thing that I have to tell myself every day when I hit that door, in the back door of our office, is when I touch that doorknob, every client, the only reason we're here is because of clients. So they need to know that they're important to us. And sometimes it's hard to stay optimistic, but you've got to stay optimistic. You've got to keep on telling your story. You have a lot of consumers at home right now on social media and other places. So keep on marketing if you're doing it. And if you're not, try to start. And if you can afford to increase it, which I know is hard, it's probably a worthy investment. So those are the things I tell other businesses.
Yeah. And so Nathan, we've talked time and time before. We've known each other for a long time. And one thing that we recently were just touching on is how every day is a new challenge, and every day there's a new law, a new regulation, a new directive. So how do you stay above it? How do you keep track of everything and continue to be successful in your business?
Yeah, I mean, it can be difficult. It can be challenging, and it's no fault in some cases of lawmakers too. I mean, this is a pandemic that we haven't seen in this capacity, with where we are as a society now being so globally connected. So it is difficult. I think what you got to do is you got to find areas and resources that you trust, whether it's media resources, whether it's professional resources, attorneys, CPAs, people in business. And I also think that it's very important as it relates to some of the changes is don't make too many definitive decisions right off the bat. Take a step back. We like to talk about in the office, just give it a sniff test. I mean, does it seem like this may change? Is there something going on that there's some ambiguity there? You don't want to be the first person in, but you don't want to be the last person out. So in some cases, let it work itself out and stay engaged and just try to make as good a decision as possible. That's kind of what worked for us, but it can be difficult.
Yeah, that's great, Nathan. Is there something else or anything else you want to share about your business? I know you guys have been working hard, staying in constant contact with the chamber and the city. I'm sure you've got many clients that this has been a trying time for them, and it's your job to keep them calm and talk them through the challenges.
Yeah, it is. And I think that's what I would share. I mean, sometimes I'll have people even ask me sometimes about, markets or about just investing. What I would say about Cambridge as a business and about financial planning as an industry is I think it's so much more important than just investing. I think a well-rounded goal-based plan to try that's designed around your specific goals and objectives, to try to accomplish those is key, whether it's in crisis or whether it's not in crisis. I will tell you, and it's likely right now, it appears that we're in a recession in the United States and around the world. The best time to plan for a recession is when you're not in one. So we stress test a lot of our plans as it relates to the software that we use, making sure that we'll be able to get through that when that time comes. So, I think planning is paramount. Being consistent with your approach is paramount, and controlling what you can control. If you're 5 or 10 years from retirement, unfortunately, you can't control what markets do. You can't control when there's a vaccine. You can't control what may happen with your employer. But what you can control to an extent is how much you save and how you manage your day-to-day budgets and how you're leveraging technology to make sure that you're on track. That's what I would say, is just control what you can control and money is very emotional. And sometimes emotional decisions, whether it's money or whether it's other things, that's not usually the greatest time to make a strategic shift or change, is when emotions are high. So sometimes just deep breaths and then just maybe recalibrate in the future is usually pretty good advice.
Yeah, that's great advice. All right, enough with these softball questions. I'm going to ask you some hard ones.
Okay.
So we're going to do a little speed round questions. You answer them as fast as you can. You let me know. When we're done. So, all right, are you a dog or cat person?
Dog.
Okay, Lakers or Celtics?
Yeah, you didn't give me the Bulls, so I'm going to take the Celtics all day.
All right, Cards or Cubs?
Absolutely 100% St. Louis Cardinals, 11-time World Series champion.
Awesome. Are you a bull or a bear?
I'm a bull because how can you not be? If you're not optimistic,
Right.
What's the point?
You got it. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke, 100%.
Steak or chicken?
Steak, absolutely.
All right, what's your favorite part of being in O'Fallon and Shiloh?
That's a great question. Proximity to St. Louis is wonderful, but more importantly, just the community, the people, the organizations, like the chamber, like the city, the parks. I think the community is what the reason we call it home.
Awesome. Well, Nathan, I really appreciate it, and thanks for talking with us today. I know you've got a lot of work to do. We all do, and I'll look forward to our many more conversations in the future.
Absolutely, Grant. Thanks.
All right. Well, hey, it's time we all get back to business, and we'll talk again in the future.
All right. Thank you. Take care.